And I know we're capable of so much better. You know? Like, okay, sure, it's an old comedy trope that people react. That you know, apparently a dude wearing a dress is funny. And that just... And it's not just, you know, people laughing at the guy wearing the dress. It's people laughing at the horrified reactions to a guy wearing a dress. And that's an incredible double standard, too. Because we don't react that way to a woman wearing jeans.
One thing is that,
Well, and that is partly because, at this point, we've just kind of moved past jeans as a gendered item of clothing, but... Frankly, fuck the idea of genders being tied to clothing.
so you would...
Dudes should be able to wear skirts if they want. I don't give a fuck.
Well, they kind of already do the kilts.
Kilt is different than a skirt. Guys can wear skirts. Like, I don't give a fuck. If you want to wear a skirt, wear a skirt. Be free and happy in doing so.
And before...
We should not mock people for wearing skirts, regardless of gender.
And before anyone, you know, takes that out of context, a perfectly male straight dude can wear a dress.
Yes, that is exactly what I'm saying. Guy, like,
So I know one of the things,
like, just as an example, like, if a show had a moment where people were laughing at a guy wearing really terribly applied makeup, I'd rather that people were laughing at the fact that the makeup was terribly applied than it was the guy wearing makeup. But unfortunately, because of how we see these things, because of our culture and our perceptions, we are laughing... It comes across as us laughing at the guy wearing makeup, rather than, wow, that's terrible, terribly done.
well then, like, going back to your thing, they don't do it intentionally, but that's how it comes across.
Right.
Wouldn't that be more on us for laughing at it? Because they're
Not necessarily, and I mean that's part of the thing.
Because we're choosing when we laugh at them, we're choosing the reason we laugh at them. They can't control why we're laughing, what we're laughing at them for.
Not necessarily, and that's why awareness is really important. That's why I'm saying these punchlines are kind of shitty, because they're not something that we really should be laughing at. And when you see this stuff, you just need to question, okay, why am I really laughing at this? And that's not to say you should just hate anything that does this. I'm saying you can be a fan of something that is crap, as long as you don't try to cover the crap. You can say that, or something that... You can be a fan of something that has crappy elements, as long as you don't try to cover up the fact that it has crappy elements. Like, I love Gurren Lagann. It's one of my favorite animes of all time.
But even it has its flaws.
Oh god, it has so many flaws. It's completely flippin' ridiculous, for one. I don't... Like, sure, and I know the absurdity is not something that appeals to everybody. That's totally fine. But, But, like, the way it treats its female characters could certainly be miles better. It's a very, like, boys' club show. And I acknowledge that. It should
that reminds
have been
me.
better.
Did you know...
when it comes to its female characters.
Have you ever noticed that in the sitcoms Disney does, it stars a lot of female characters?
That is to their credit. I wish they were less boring and tropey.
And it was specifically done that because of all the genderism or whatever, or something.
Sexism?
Yeah.
Well, and it's because one of their primary demographics is like 13 to 16-year-old girls. Or no, like even going, let me expand that range, let me change that range. It's like 11 to 15-year-old girls. That's part of the demographic, so they should have female characters. The problem that I have with that is, and it's the problem I have with pretty much all Disney Channel characters on the live action stuff, they're so one-dimensional. They're reduced down to like one or two character traits. There's no room for real, like, character depth or growth. They don't explore the intricacies of a character like a lot of other shows do.
And to be fair to the same Nickelodeon, it's not solely those networks.
Oh, yeah, no. Like, Nickelodeon is just as bad in this respect. Nickelodeon is just as bad.
No, I meant that...
And other networks are as well. Like... There's no actual, like, exploration of character. Everybody has, like, one trait. Or, okay, because it's kind of on, we have it on mute, but it's on right now, is, Lab Rats, the show with the bionic...
Lab Rats actually versus Mighty Med crossover special.
Okay. Moot point. The point is, Lab Rats, I'm taking the one character, I don't remember what the hell his name is.
Him?
But the big dumb guy.
Spencer, that's him, right?
Yes, him.
Or,
big dumb guy.
Adam is his character's name.
Yeah, Adam. Big dumb guy. That's all he's got. That's the only aspect of his character. Big dumb jock. That's it.
He's useful. He's saved the team on several occasions.
Okay, but what does that have to do with his character traits? A big dumb jock can still save everybody, but he's still just a big dumb jock. He doesn't have any character depth. He doesn't have, like, a hidden, like... He doesn't... Like, they don't ever talk about, like, hey, maybe he also enjoys playing the clarinet. Or maybe he also... Like, there you go. That's some actual character depth. Big dumb jock bucks a stereotype. He enjoys playing clarinet. Or he plays cards. You know, he's really good at poker. Or... Like, I can think of a million ways to write a big dumb jock character that it doesn't just boil them down to those 3 words.
Isn't that kind of contradicting yourself? Because I know a long time ago you said that dumb characters don't make shows funny.
In general, they don't, no. But there's room for them. You know, you can have a dumb, air quotes, character, which is also really... I also don't particularly like that as a character trope, because intelligence is very relative, but that's a discussion for another time. Like, as I was saying, I can think of a million ways to write an air quotes big dumb jock with, like, actually giving them some character depth. You know, maybe the reason they play sports is because their younger brother really likes watching them play.
Well, and to be fair, regarding the whole dumb thing and you saying that Adam has no, what else does he have to name? To be fair, you should probably see all the episodes before having an opinion.
Well, that is true also, but...
Because you've only seen a few.
But the fact remains, like... And we can keep going with the gameplay here.
Oh, we're done. But you can finish.
We're done with the episode, but we're still recording. Oh, geez, okay. Well, geez. No, I should wrap it up then. My point is, modern TV shows are capable of a lot better when it comes to things like character writing and things like that. And being lazy costs you not only in terms of quality, but in terms of, like, examples you're setting for kids. Like, let's think about that. If you're the only character trait you're giving this you know, sporty character is again big dumb jock, what are you telling them? That you can't be smart and enjoy sports? Heck, I would be, like, totally thrilled if it was a regular thing that he is not just, you know, the big burly dude, but he also plays chess. You can totally be smart and enjoy sports as well. Like, I actually kind of enjoy watching football. I'll watch I don't like football particularly.
I'm not into sports either at all.
But I have fun watching the Super Bowl, especially when it's, you know, my native team, you know, go Hawks. You know, I have a large... Or, take me, for example. If I was on one of these shows, they would just cast me as the nerd. Easy. But I have so many more interests than just
I don't think they
nerdy. air quotes, nerdy things.
Well, I don't think the people who they cast and the roles they get are based on how they actually are in real life.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if, like, you look at me, you know me. You people watching know me from what I've been, from how I talk about things. You know, I'm very interested in video games. If I was a character on these shows, they wouldn't give me any depth other than video game, like, nerd who plays video games. They'd make jokes about me, like,
but I'm confused.
Reciting the formula for the God, okay, let me restart. They'd make jokes about me reciting the Pythagorean theorem and nobody else getting it. Whereas, like, fuck, I don't remember the Pythagorean theorem. My interests are wide and varied.
But wait, I'm so confused because, like I said, they don't, like, Spencer Boldman, who plays Adam Davenport, isn't dumb in real life.
Right. You're getting away from the point. I'm saying, like, if this was a TV show written by the same people who write these things, my character, the character based on my personality, would not have nearly the depth of personality that I do in real life. And the thing is, like, a really good show needs verisimilitude, which is a bit different than realism. Verisimilitude, which is a big fancy word for truthiness, or being true to life, it's why we can totally accept a show about people with superpowers, but we get irritated when those people only have one character trait. We can suspend our disbelief for superpowers, sure, because they make things really entertaining and fun. But when it comes to actual character traits, we want to see actual, like, truth to life. We want to see characters that actually do have multiple personality traits.
And while he's not a fan of this show either, Degrassi does that a lot.
Yeah, like, sure, I'll give Degrassi credit for actually having some character depth. I get really disappointed and, yes, angry and, yes, I'm mad about how lazy these shows come across. That makes me really disappointed and angry. They could do so much better. And it's not just, I want quality TV. This is good business sense. A good show lasts longer because people enjoy it more. People want to watch stuff that is good.
Again, in that respect, Disney Channel, Nickelodeon specifically, they have, like, an invincible rule that they won't go past 4 seasons.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but I don't know.
And obviously they're doing well. They're getting millions of viewers each time a new episode airs.
Yeah, but I have to question why that is. Like, it's in some cases, it's probably not the actual show's quality. Like, and admittedly, I am kind of biased. I would very much like to see better quality shows with better writing and more, like, depth to the characters. You know, but we're starting to go in circles, and we really should let this episode end. Probably.
And just to clarify again, this is his opinion. Don't let it influence you if you do enjoy these shows.
Well, yeah, by all means, enjoy the shows if you like them. I'm just saying,
from his standpoint.
From my standpoint, I can see so much potential, and it makes me so sad and angry to see potential go to waste.
And the other thing,
especially when that wasted potential means that they pass on really poor messages. Because when you're a media creator, you have, I think, a responsibility. You have an audience that looks up to you to any degree. It doesn't matter how old that audience is.
Rich Correll, he worked on the Amanda Show.
But when you have an audience, they look up to you to whatever degree. It doesn't matter how old that audience is. And as an entertainer, you have a responsibility to... I'm trying to think of the words here. You have a responsibility to them, I guess. Because being an entertainer, especially on a big, wide network like Disney, That's a lot of power. You have an immeasurable amount of power over your audience. And Spider-Man tells us, with great power comes great responsibility. You have a responsibility to treat your audience with respect. That's what I was going for. You have a responsibility to treat your audience with respect. And that can be as basic as not making fun of them, which I've seen a lot of content creators do, especially online. You will actively harass portions of your fan base or make fun of them, which is just really shitty. That kind of makes you a shitty human being, in my opinion. But you have a responsibility to treat them with respect, and that's give them stuff that isn't, like, dumbed down, I guess. You know, we deserve better.
And the other thing is that we're from a different generation too. So
That's I suppose part of it.
because, like, for example, techno music, my mom hates it,
Well,
and she says it puts her on edge all the time. Because
I'm not exactly seeing where you're going with this.
part of that is her generation, but part of it is personal preference.
Right. And I don't know. Like, I think if there's only one thing that I would, like, really want to imbue this coming generation
So, like,
with.
you, for example, you grew up with cartoons, I think, right?
Yeah, and I grew up with really clever and witty cartoons, like Animaniacs, or
So we're all
stuff that really kind of that had stuff not just for the kids but for the adults watching as well.
And like I was saying earlier, for me personally, I'll just go with the flow. As long as it's not little kid shows like Dora the Explorer.
Well, yeah, but again, different audience. And what I was trying to say, like, the thing I want to pass on to any generation, especially the ones that are coming in the future, is to be critical. Like, be critical of what you consume, what you watch, what you listen to, what you participate in. And that doesn't mean to just tear it down. Being critical of something means looking at it in its entirety, looking at its parts as well, because the whole is greater than the sum of the parts, but the parts are a very important aspect. And it means examining each one of the being critical of a work means examining every aspect of that work and really thoroughly examining it, questioning what went into this, who made this, what was their intention, what does it say, even if that wasn't their intention. That's what being critical is, and that's what I would love everybody now and forevermore to be doing, is to be critical of everything they see. And I guess that's about all I got. Otherwise, I'm just repeating myself, which I have done a lot already. So, you know,
and don't let him scare you. He's not angry at you guys.
Oh no, this is not a personal thing. This is just something that kind of gets worked up in my head a lot, and I think about this stuff a lot, and I don't really express it a lot. But you know,
and I think it's helped that he takes a lot of college classes related to that. I think.
Yes, I study psychology and I study sociology, and I kind of immerse myself on this
because I think
in this field of, like, media and how it influences.
Because growing up, you changed anyway, but I think I think if you hadn't taken your classes, you probably would have been on the other side of the line. Oh, haha, that's funny.
Possibly. It's not just the classes. It's the people I communicate with, and it's the people.
No, but I mean, it probably wouldn't be at this how it is exactly now.
I probably wouldn't be
this
quite as angry.
That.
But okay.
But anyway, my friend has to get to dinner with his quote unquote boyfriend.
Okay. Yeah. I'm still not convinced his mom... I'm still convinced his mom thinks we're gay.
Anyway, see you guys and gals later.
And everybody who doesn't fit into one of those two categories. You're awesome. I love y'all.